Welcome everybody this evening to the September 12th meeting of the Winchington Board of Health. We are beginning the meeting at exactly 6:10 p.m. on September 12th. The meeting is being pre-recorded. The meeting is live our time, but being recorded on separate video to be broadcast at a future date, as tonight's Board of Selectmen meeting is receiving a live broadcast at 6:30 p.m. With that, would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I don't know. I think they did just.
It wasn't over here, I went to go look.
I know, I walked in, I saw it, it's not over there, you know?
I had to look around for it.
That's why I was saying other side. Well,
Trying to mess your brain up.
it's good to see everybody after what's been definitely a dry summer, but a summer where everybody got to go out and enjoy a lot of great vacation time with the weather we've had, that's for sure. Nobody can say they didn't have a lot of good days this summer to enjoy being outside, that is for sure. Okay, with that, we're going to get right to business as we have a lot going on this evening. We're going to get right down with the Chair's Public Health Update. Everybody has a copy? Winchington 10-town area are beginning to realize higher viral tracking trends. As of the newest Massachusetts Department of Public Health report released on Thursday, September 9th, 2022, the town of Winchington has increased in viral positivity from its previous September 1, 6.04% molecular testing positivity to 8.68%. At the same time, Winchington's local 10-town area over the last 4 consecutive calendar weeks has steadily increased across the board from an August 18th 8.03 to August 25th at 8.15%, followed by September 1 registering at 8.23%, and most recently per the newest Mass DPH calculated average as of September 8th at 8.87 or almost 9%. That is again our local 10-town area traveling 2 towns any direction south of the New Hampshire state line. Locally in our area traveling in any direction south of New Hampshire, 7 out of 10 municipalities have increased in viral or SARS-CoV-2 positivity, with the towns of Ashburnham and Westminster realizing the highest viral numbers in our area, with Ashburnham increasing in one reporting period from 11.16 to 13.04% positivity, and Westminster increasing from 14.93 to a very high 16.67% positivity. Yes, Lionel, exactly. Ashby to Ashburnham's east lowered from 4.44 to just 3.64%. And the city of Gardner, with 21,000 residents, lowered from 8.21 to a more manageable 6.37% positivity. South of Gardner, Hubbardston increased from 9.89 to 11.36%, also in double digits now. And to Gardner's west, Templeton dropped from 7.58 to 6.02% in testing, with its school district partner Phillipston increasing from 12.5% all the way up to also 14.71%, however on a small number of tests. Lastly in our area, Royalston to Winchington's west increased just barely from 3.03 to a still very low 3.13%, while its school district partner, the town of Athol, with 11,500 residents, or 1,000 more than Winchington, increased from 4.56 to 5.12% positivity based on 527 molecular tests. For all Winchington residents who currently are still in possession of previously purchased Town of Winchington handed out iHealth COVID-19 antigen test kits, who may have received them or from the federal government, iHealth has received a 6-month FDA legal product shelf life extension as verified by the Chair of the Board of Health. It is on their website for everybody to observe. If you have any test kits, as an example, in your home that may say expire, as an example, on July 7th, 2022, add 6 months, and so on with the dates. They have a federal shelf life extension minimum now of 6 months. In closing, the Town of Winchington Board of Health continues regarding COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2 and considers to recommend vaccinations only if one is healthy enough to do so, especially if one is either immunocompromised or has pre-existing conditions. To this date, it has still been mainly the Main mission of the Board of Health to target mostly those with pre-existing conditions or the immunocompromised. We still advise everybody who's had cancer, lymphoma, those who have extenuating pre-existing conditions to really consider vaccinations. If you are considering vaccinations, please always have that conversation with your primary medical doctor or qualified, certified medical health professional. Meeting minutes. We had a little hold up for a little while in getting the past April minutes from the last calendar town business year. We do have the meeting minutes now from our recording secretary for April. And for that meeting at that time was Edward Bond, Tina Santos, and myself. Just like to take a moment, ask our fellow board members here just to review the moments briefly again, even though you've already read them. Just take one last quick mosey on to them. Always better be safe than sorry.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the April 4th, 2022 meeting minutes.
A motion has been made to approve the April 4th, 2022 meeting minutes. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion has been made by member Tina Santos and seconded by member Edward Bond to approve the April 4th, 2022 minutes. Do we have any questions or discussion? Hearing none. Tina Santos.
Aye.
Ed Bond.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. We'll take one copy. We'll take the copy I have because we're going to turn these into the town clerk. We'll all sign this copy and then I'll sign and date it again on the front and we will give it to the clerk. If you please pass it down after you sign it, pass it back. We'll give that to town clerk Wendy Stevens so she can get it entered into the online recording system for the state and the town. Next meeting, just so the board knows, we will have the June minutes to go over. There's been a lot of trouble with the Comcast email system again today. We tried to forward stuff to everybody again. Everything's bouncing back, not going through, undeliverable, the whole 9 yards.
I got mine, but I couldn't download the other
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, the attachments.
Yeah,
I couldn't open them
could not-
either.
I
Yeah.
could not open the attachments.
Tina, if you could give that to James, he could give that to Wendy tomorrow. It's signed and dated on the top front like it's also supposed to be, and it's all signed on the back. I believe that's sufficient for the town clerk. If not, please correct me. Okay, we've got meeting minutes update. Up next, item 4, Title V request extension approval for 678 West Street. James, I will hand this over to you for our guest.
All right, this is basically an approval of septic plans that were approved 2 years ago. The approval is good for 2 years, but the board can extend it for a third year for one single year, one-time deal. And this person obviously has a decent excuse for extending it with COVID and the material costs and everything kind of pushing back his new housing projects. So that's what the request is. If the board wishes, they can extend his already approved plans for an additional year.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make the motion to approve the extension for 1 year.
Seconded.
We have a motion made by member Ed Bond and a second by member Glenn LaRochelle to extend the legal request for a 1-year extension for 678 West Street on the Title V request. Hearing that, is there any discussion?
I just have a question. Was there any issues or anything when it was first?
No, it's new
Right up.
construction, so there was no variances or anything.
So nothing's been changed, still the whole same plan?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Good question, Tina. Any other questions, discussion? Lionel, anybody? No? Going once, going twice? Sullivan? No, we're good. Okay, hearing that, do a vote. Tina Santos,
Aye.
Ed Bond,
Aye.
Lon Cloutier,
Aye.
Glenn La Rochelle,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. You have a go, sir. Up next, we have a Title V waiver for 77 River Street. Up next, that will be handing off to you again, sir, as the health agent.
All right, 770 River Street, the engineer will be requesting, I believe it's a variance from a well and from setbacks from the property lines, and Mr. Razowitz is here to explain that.
Two copies here. So this is an upgrade field system. We've got two waivers, and they're listed up here, right kind of in the middle top of the page. We've got the, on the well setback, we're about 86 feet to our well's in the front yard. We're kind of hemmed in there. The lot narrows down, we've got wetlands, fence, we've got this huge shed back there which can't be moved. So we pushed the system back as far as we could to not have to rip the fence down and to get out of that 100-foot well. We have a well radius from the abutter over here, so we pushed it over to so we wouldn't encroach on their 100-foot. But we're still we're 86 feet or so from our well, 85.9 we wrote. And the second waiver request is to the on the downhill side of the system. You can see there's a wetland down there, quite a bit down slope, but horizontally it's only 36 foot horizontally. It's the back of the lot's all wet, so it's kind of a best compromise. Get away from the neighbor's well and ask for a waiver on the wetlands. Offset wells are more important than wetlands as far as Title V goes, you know, priority.
Where is this property in reference to other properties on River Street?
It's out, quite a ways up River Street.
Okay,
Is it past the transfer station and?
that was my question.
is it
Yeah.
Past the Richard Line Garden or kind of in between?
Yes.
Just trying to think of what, I don't know if I went
How
by
far
the
down?
transfer.
Is this new construction or existing?
No, this is a repair, it's an existing system. The
Okay.
existing system's right, basically in the same place. Actually, we kind of drew the trenches and whatnot
Sure.
in there.
We're just trying to get an idea of how far down River
So if you
Street
could
that you
look
went
at
through.
the upper left corner,
Beyond Charlie's farm.
you'll see the
Yeah.
locust map.
Yep,
See where it says site?
yep,
It's fairly close to the Royston border up there.
yep, yep,
That's your location.
okay.
Pretty up there.
So you are past the,
It's really out there.
Beyond the
yeah,
transfer.
past,
station.
Oh,
past
that's
the
way down
Royston.
there in the low spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, way past.
Over the bridge,
Yeah.
keep going down, up past the
Up,
farm.
Past the farm.
on
So the
left.
transfer station is this what, large lot number 23, open area, give or
So-
take, maybe right there?
This is down by the Rod and Gun Club.
Yeah, Rod and Gun Club is
Yeah, down in the
just
lower,
on
down
the
here somewhere.
Royalston line.
And then
so-
there's that road right there after the transfer station, okay.
Yeah.
All right, now I got a better idea now.
Huh?
On the,
Thank you.
Royalston line and the
Yep,
actual,
we're way out there on the line, okay.
We
shooting
went
range
through
is
conservation,
Mhm.
took care of that about a month ago.
Okay,
It was-
yep. And how long ago did this person make application for this roughly?
Just
curious.
I think we filed with conservation, could be 3 months now. Revised to eliminate waiver for the abutter radius. Okay, we did that 8/1, but we did the plan end of June. So I think we submitted for conservation in July. We didn't have it, that's what it was. We didn't have the DEP file number when we had the first meeting with conservation, so we had to wait. They meet once a month, so
Okay.
when they met in August, conservation approved it.
is there any issues or concerns by abutters that you're aware of?
No, for the conservation hearings, no butters came
So
out
you
for
got
it.
the neighborly love.
And of course, if I wasn't 100 feet away from the neighbors,
Yeah.
well, then I would have had the notification.
That well radius.
Yeah. In fact, the first plan we did, I had 2 well radiuses, the neighbors and ours, but we were able to squash it in that corner a little better. And
Glenn, you wanted to ask?
Now I remember.
No.
Oh, I thought you had a question,
Now I
sorry.
remember this one. This one is in that blue house. Blue gray house, and you've got a big
It's
backyard.
light colored.
Did
Yeah.
conservation okay it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I honestly can't remember the, it's got a huge front yard. I wish the well was in the back, and it would have been a great place for the system out front.
This is all closed in by a fence.
Yes,
Yeah.
and now there's
I
two
remember.
dogs in there now.
Yeah, I remember it.
And you just upgrading it, so you're trying to.
So again, for anybody who may in the future watch this meeting, based on the geographic location of the neighbors, for anybody watching, we have a question, location with the neighbors, the abutters, the allotment of the size of the yard, the proximity to adjacent properties, for anybody with any concerns watching the meeting, this is the best of an existing situation, correct? For
Yeah,
all
it's
clarification.
the only place to put the system, yeah.
The only place to put the system for all clarification for anybody watching the meeting. I want to get that out there. Put a nail in it right now in case anybody has any questions.
I think it's some existing, so.
We did have to pump it because it's, with the groundwater table.
Sure.
Even though the yard's been kind of filled and whatnot, we still had to get our 4 feet above,
Right.
has to be pumped.
Yep. And again, you had nobody, as Tina asked, nothing, no questions from any neighbors at all, nobody came to the meeting, nothing.
No,
Were they notified by mail or anything like that? So they were notified, okay.
Sure, I was at the meeting,
Yep.
and we had no problems whatsoever.
Excellent, excellent. Good to get that all on public record, you know what I mean? So nobody can come back and say I wasn't notified or anything like that.
That was my question.
Covering the bases.
Because I wanted to know what
Input.
the conservation had said about it. If
Yep.
It was already okay with that.
Yep.
I'd like to make a motion to approve. Oh,
Oh,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
This has been upgraded because it failed,
yeah.
and how long will this upgrade last before it fails again?
I don't recall the age of the system, do you, Jim?
I don't.
Well, so easier to downgrade to that, then what would you predict for our average life expectancy in something like this?
0 to 100.
Awesome.
Yeah,
How's that for honesty?
You shoot for like 20, 25, 35 years.
But it has to
but
be
all,
fixed anyways.
Yeah.
all depends on how it's used.
They
So-
use Rid-X.
Yeah,
I mean, they have-
If they start flushing stuff that they're not supposed to be
They have good
flushing.
soils there. If they take care of their septic tank,
Yeah.
get it pumped every couple of years, 2-3 years, and
Hmm?
actually, I think pump systems last longer than gravity, so it should last them
What is this, 1,500 to 2,000, how many gallon tank is this?
1,500.
Is 1,500, okay.
Can I
Yeah, shoot.
mention, that house, I know the previous owner and this owner, that system's been in there for 35 years.
That's longevity.
Yeah. I know the people that used to live there used to come up and visit it.
Mm-hmm. So it went quite a while without an upgrade.
Quite a while, quite a while.
That's really good for a septic, that's really good. That's really good. Kudos to the person who put the first one in. Did it right. You know, obviously the prior residents took care of it.
Well, it was pumped every 3 years.
Any other questions by any members? Okay, hearing that, do we have a motion to accept? Do we have a motion to accept the Title V waiver as read for 77 River Street, Winchington?
I'd like to make the motion to approve the variance.
For 77 River
770
Street.
River Street.
770.
Yep,
770 River Street.
Oh, sorry, you got it.
okay. The motion was made by member Tina Santos and was seconded by member Lionel Cloutier for 770 River Street, Title V waiver as requested. Hearing none, is there any further discussion amongst the board? Hearing none. Vote. Tina Santos,
Aye.
Edward Bond,
Aye.
Glenn La Rochelle,
Aye.
Lionel Cloutier,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. You have a go, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for coming this
Appreciate
evening.
it.
Thank you for coming this evening.
Jim, you need any more copies of this? or not?
I'll take one.
I'll give you two. I know Corey's got his machine over there idling, I
Okay,
think.
I keep this one?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And this is where member Tina Santos gets a good workout with permits.
All right. So I'm going to start off with the pasteurization permit. I believe this is the first time in many years, or if
Wow, yes.
quite a while, that we've had a permit like this. This is a pasteurization of milk, and the permit number is P22-01. This is for the Catlin Creamery DBA Smith's Country Cheese. The $10 fee was paid, and looks like there is no notes for.
And for anybody watching the meeting, James Abear's health agent said this was inspected and approved by the state additionally.
Correct.
So anybody who has any questions, as this is a first in the area for quite a while, this was state inspected and approved.
What was the last one?
Murdoch Farm, yeah.
That must have been a while ago.
Yeah.
Was that before your time or
Before my time.
or when you were a rookie?
That was before my time.
So pre-23 years ago,
Yeah.
pre-23.
Almost 25, actually.
Okay. I thought you were 23.
No.
25?
I'll be 25 in November.
Wow. Wow.
Quarter century.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the pasteurization permit of milk for Catlin Creamery DBA Smith Country Cheese.
Second. Motion was made by member Tina Santos and seconded by member Glenn La Rochelle to approve pasteurization permit P-22-01 for Catlin Creamery doing business as Smith's Country Cheese for pasteurization. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Santos.
Aye.
Bond.
Aye.
Cloutier.
Aye.
La Rochelle.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
All right, so we're gonna start off with a temporary food permit, permit number 2253. This is for Skips Jelly. The food permit the fee, was paid for $25. And I believe this is for the Fall Festival.
I'll have to make a couple extra lines.
No,
There's only three.
No
there.
issues.
It's supposed to be 5.
they're coming to the food festival, so they'll have, I'm sure Jim will go through and
Inspected on site.
inspect them on site.
What was that permit number again, Tina, please?
2253,
For Skips?
Skips Jelly.
Thank you. Jim, is this one of those home kitchen things, or what is this?
Residential kitchen.
It's residential?
Inspected out of 10.
We're gonna leave them here.
Yep.
and then give them that.
Sure. Sounds like a plan. Build up the stack.
It's Apple. Town of Athol, residential
Yep.
kitchen permit.
Excuse me, did you say this was a kitchen?
Yes, residential kitchen, you said town of Athol?
Athol.
So you had to go there to inspect it?
No, Athol does. And we'll do the inspection on site.
So it's in Athol, town of Athol does it?
Yep.
But they're selling here,
At the food festival,
okay,
or the fall festival,
Fall
excuse me.
at Fall Fest.
Yeah, so they're
Just try-
asking for a temporary food permit. to
Just
start.
asking for clarity for anybody watching the meeting.
What kind of jelly?
Actually, I think
Jelly
they were
Joe.
at the summer solstice or the fall festival last year, I remember that name, so
That does sound
they were very
familiar.
good.
Yeah, it does sound familiar, Tina.
Like to make a motion to accept permit number 2253 for Skip's Jelly.
I'll second it.
Motion made by member Tina Santos, seconded by member Ed Bond for permit 2253 residential home kitchen Skip's Jelly for a fall festival permutation. We had a first and second, any discussion? Hearing none. Tina Santos,
Aye.
Ed Bond.
Aye.
Glenn Rochelle,
Aye.
Lionel Cloutier,
Aye.
chair votes aye, 5-0 yes.
Next is permit number 2256 for Lickety Splits. This is a food service permit for the fee of $100 that was paid. And there are one note that the ice machine and the freezers need additional cleaning. This is back in June. Do you know?
Did a follow-up inspection, Jim?
Been taken care of, yes.
All been taken care of.
Perfect.
I have a question, Jim.
Yeah.
How they come over their septic system?
Apparently, there's a possible sale of the business going on, so.
I thought the septic was already replaced. Wasn't that last
Yeah.
summer?
It was
We
approved.
They did.
Approved, it hasn't been installed.
What did they do all that digging for that happened last year? What was that all about?
Soil testing.
Okay, okay. So, like a lot of personal home properties, the septic could be part of the sales, P&A, purchase and sales agreement
It's
type thing?
possible to roll it into the price of the.
Because they're still in the process of trying to sell the property.
But I just get an update on it.
Yep. Okay. Do we have a motion for permit 2256, Lickety Splits by anybody?
I make a motion to approve.
Anybody second?
Second.
Motion has been made by member Lionel Cloutier and seconded by member Glenn LaRochelle to approve permit 2256 for Lickety Splits. Any discussion? Hearing none. Vote, Mr. LaRochelle.
Aye.
Mr. Cloutier.
Aye.
Mr. Bond.
Aye.
Ms. Santos.
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Permit's approved, 5-0.
Next I have permit 2257. This is for the Winchendon CAC. They asked if they, to waive the fee, being a town or nonprofit. There is no notes or violations, and this is for their food pantry.
No notes or violations. Permit 2257, Winchendon CAC. Do we have a motion to approve the permit as read?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion has been made by member Glenn LaRochelle. Do we have a second by Lionel Cloutier?
So,
No, we have
just so
to,
you know, we have to approve to waive the fee.
Yeah, that's what I was getting
Oh,
to, exactly.
okay.
Yeah, no problem. No, it's always a good point. Double our bases. So on this permit, as Ms. Santos read, they are a nonprofit or not-for-profit entity, as they are a social betterment entity, as like churches are and things of that nature, with doing community work. So we do need to put into the motion that we are seeking to waive their permit fee. So could we have somebody make sure we enter that into the motion?
Okay. You made the motion.
I'll make the motion to waive the fee. They do a lot of.
And I'll second.
Motion has been made by member Glenn LaRochelle and entered by Lionel Cloutier as a second to approve permit 2257 with the permit fee waived. Hearing that, is there any other discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Santos?
Aye.
Mr. Bond?
aye.
Mr. Cloutier?
Aye.
Mr. LaRochelle?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. 5-0 yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the permit 2257 for the Winchendon CAC.
That's what we just did.
Oh, we didn't
Yeah,
vote?
We just voted. We just
I'm
voted.
sorry.
No, that's okay.
I thought we were just doing it for the
Oh, no, we
waiving of the
just did
fee. I
that.
apologize.
Oh, no, that's okay, my friend. No, it's
My-
good.
My mistake.
No, when you got a
All right.
stack of them, that's easy. I've done it a million times.
Perfect. It's been a long day.
That's okay.
Oops, sorry. All right, sorry. Next one, food permit 2258 for Dunkin' Donuts. This is a food service permit that was paid for a $100 fee. And there is a few notes. Emergency lights in the men's restroom need repair. The vent fan over the cooking equipment needs cleaning. The kitchen floor needs additional cleaning in the hard-to-reach areas.
So,
2258.
obviously you had a follow-up inspection, Jim, how'd it go?
I have not been able to get back there yet for the emergency light.
Okay, so in cases like this, for new member Glenn La Rochelle, we would in these cases approve the permit subject to the health agent's follow-up inspection, passing a follow-up inspection only. As he said, he needs to get back to make sure the emergency light was also corrected. So in cases like this, you said the other things were taken care of?
I'm all set.
Okay, the other things are all set, and he said the emergency light, he has not had a chance to follow up on. So in cases like this, it's tradition with the board to say, we would make a motion to approve the permit, subject to the health agent's follow-up inspection of that last item, in this case, the emergency light, passing his follow-up inspection, in that case, the permit would already be approved.
Correct.
Yep, just wanted to let you know how they roll on these things. That way it saves having to bring it up at a future meeting.
Right.
If it meets his approval for criteria as the health agent. So who would like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 2258 permit for Dunkin' Donuts with the exception of the final inspection of the emergency lights.
I'll second.
Motion was made by member Tina Santos for permit number 2258 to approve Dunkin' Donuts on a follow-up final inspection of the health agent, including the final passing of the emergency light from the pre-existing notes of the health agent, seconded by member Glenn La Rochelle. Hearing that, any further discussion? Hearing no discussion, member La Rochelle.
Aye.
Mr. Cloutier.
Aye.
Mr. Bond.
Aye.
Ms. Santos.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, 5-0 yes.
Next, hang on. Sorry. Next food permit is 2259. This is a retail food permit of $100 that was paid. And this is for NDHP Corporation's DBA Mike Mart. There was no notes or violations.
Don't you love all those acronyms?
Right?
You said 2259?
2259, yes.
Okay, we have permit 2259 for Mike Mart. There were no notes or violations. Would somebody like to recommend approving this permit as
I'll make a
paid?
motion to approve permit number 2259, Mike Mar.
Okay, do we have a second?
A second.
Motion was made by member Ed Bond and approved by member Lionel Cloutier to approve permit as read, 2259 for Mike Mart. Hearing that, is there any discussion? Hearing none. Vote, Mr. La Rochelle.
Aye.
Mr. Cloutier.
Aye.
Mr. Bond.
Aye.
Ms. Santos.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion for Mike Mart passes 5-0.
Okay, next, 2260. This is for a retail food service permit, $100 paid fee. This is for SKRAJ Incorporated, DBA Williams Package Store. And there was no notes or violations.
I make a motion to approve.
What was that permit number, Tina? I apologize.
2260.
Thank you, I didn't get to write it down in time. I was signing my name.
I'll second.
Did you sing first, that, Lionel?
Lionel.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so we have permit number 2260, Williams Package Store. And it was approved as read by member Lionel Cloutier with the first and seconded by member Glenn La Rochelle. Hearing that, do we have any discussion? Hearing none. Vote. Mr. La Rochelle.
Aye.
Mr. Cloutier.
Aye.
Mr. Bond.
Aye.
Ms. Santos.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes 5-0 yes.
All right, next is food permit 2265 for Winchendon Wine and Spirits. And this is a food service permit for the fee of $100 that was paid. And there is no notes or violations.
Question by Mr. Cloutier.
Is that the one on Railroad Street?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I
sir.
just wanted to get a am I correct? Thank you.
Railroad Street, where you better pay attention where you drive your vehicle now.
That's right.
Yeah, they've made it a little better, but.
Or you could find yourself on top of quite an array of speed bumps.
Or you could be part of the 4 accidents they've already had then.
It's called slow down, right?
Yes.
Slow down or you will pay a price. So, permit has been read for 2265 Winchendon Wine and Spirits as read. Do we have a motion to accept the permit?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion has been accepted as read for permit 2265. Motion made to accept by member Lionel Cloutier and seconded by member Glenn La Rochelle. Any further questions? Hearing none. Member Santos.
Aye.
Mr. Bond.
Aye.
Mr. Cloutier.
Aye.
Mr. La Rochelle.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes 5-0.
All right, a few more. Next one, 2266. For the Cub Scouts Pack 193, they are going to be selling popcorn and lemonade. And this is going to be at the food festival. They asked if they could waive the fee.
Is that Fall Festival?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Selling
I wasn't sure if I heard you.
Prepaid, yep,
I apologize.
prepackaged popcorn and lemonade.
And as they are kind of, James, please help me with this, as they are pretty much a charitable organization, does the board want to make a motion to recommend we waive the fee for the Cub Scouts as we would for the Girl Scouts?
Correct.
Okay.
The normal course that we have in the past.
Yep, so looking for somebody to make a motion, and please include in the motion, as we did for the other organization, to please waive the permit fee.
I make a motion to approve the Cub Scouts Pack 193 and also to waive the fee.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made by member Lionel Cloutier and seconded by member Glenn La Rochelle for Cub Scout Pack 193, permit number 2266 as read for the upcoming Fall Festival, to waive the fee included in the permit as read. Any questions? Hearing none. Mr. La Rochelle.
Aye.
Mr. Cloutier.
Aye.
Mr. Bond.
Aye.
Ms. Santos.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. 5-0 yes.
All right, next one is a temporary food permit, 2267. This is for In a Jam. And this is also, this is a fee of $25 paid, and they also will be, it's a residential kitchen that will be selling their product at the Fall Festival.
You said 2267?
Yes.
Thank you. Permit 2267, fee was paid. In a Jam, looking for a first and second for the Fall Festival.
Like to make,
Oh,
like to
sorry.
make, oh, I'm
Go-
sorry.
Go for it. No, I'm sorry, please.
That's okay, I think we all jumped at it. I'd like to make a motion to approve the permit number 2267 for In a Jam.
Seconded.
Motion has been made by member Tina Santos and seconded by member Glenn La Rochelle for permit 2267 In a Jam, temporary food permit for the Fall Festival. Hearing none, do we have any questions? Hearing none, Ms. Santos,
Aye.
Mr. La Rochelle,
Aye.
Mr. Bond,
Aye.
Mr. Cloutier,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye, 5-0 yes. We're getting there.
All right, we have
Rolling. 2
more food permits. This is 2268 for Jackson Effie, E-F-F-I-E. This is a temporary food permit for, to sell coffee at the Fall Festival, and the fee of $25 has been paid.
Okay, we have a food permit for Jackson Effie, permit number 2268, again, temporary food permit for the Fall Festival. Would anybody like to, fee has been paid, would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve permit number 2268, Jackson Effie.
Seconded.
Motion has been made by member Ed Bond and seconded by member Glenn La Rochelle for permit number 2268 for Jackson Effie, temporary food permit for the Fall Festival. Hearing none, any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. La Rochelle,
Aye.
Mr. Cloutier,
Aye.
Mr. Bond,
Aye.
Ms. Santos,
Aye.
and chair votes aye, 5-0 yes.
Last but not least, permit number 2269. This is for Cora's Old Fashioned Fudge. This is a temporary food permit, and their fee of $25 was paid. And they will be selling fudge at the Fall Festival.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay. Cora's Old Fashioned Fudge, permit 2269, again, temporary food permit for the upcoming Winchendon Fall Festival. Permit number 2269, motion was made by member Lionel Cloutier and seconded by member Glenn LaRochelle. Any discussions? Hearing none. Member Santos?
Aye.
Member Bond?
Aye.
Member LaRochelle?
Aye.
Member Cloutier?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes 5-0 yes.
I also have 2 invoices here. The first one is for mileage reimbursement for Keith Kent. And this was back in July for the total amount of $57.58.
And I'd be more than happy if the board would entertain. I'd love to give you an explanation for that for all purposes of integrity.
Sure.
So with that, I have made already 2 trips to the Worcester Department of Public Health with my vehicle in the past to pick up supplies for the town of Winchendon Board of Health. I had never charged for gas or mileage in the past at the Worcester Department of Public Health for the town. But at this recent trip, when I went, at this last trip, gas was over $5 a gallon, and as needless to say, I don't fit in a Volkswagen. That being said, what I picked up also wouldn't fit in a Volkswagen, is I picked up 29 full-size orange cones, a ton of batteries, and a laptop for the town hall computer, all part of a grant that our health agent applied for. So finally, on my 3rd trip to the Worcester Department of Public Health, with gas being what it was and not applying for the other 2, I finally, per the advice of the town manager, after my 2 free trips, I put in for gas and fuel mileage to the Worcester Department of Public Health, mileage reimbursement and fuel. And that is why I finally, on my 3rd trip, submitted a bill to the town of Winchendon.
I don't blame you.
You got 2 freebies out of me, but at over $5 a gallon at the time, my truck went, "Feed me, Seymour."
Yeah. I have a
And it's-
truck and it's not cheap.
And it was like 45 miles each way,
Definitely not.
and then meeting with the guy, and I was there and back, and then
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'm gonna comment.
Okay.
He's setting a precedence here, that means you're gonna go 2 times before you get paid.
I find that very interesting, and I would like to add,
That's on record.
and I would like to add to that comment, since our fellow member of the Board of Health is rather financially affluent by virtue of a scratch ticket a few years ago that he bragged about, and I want the board to know, he's made it very clear he's gonna buy an $80,000 electric truck, that he would be more than happy, I'll bet, to go for the town of Winchendon next time with his electric truck when he buys. I love you, man. I love you. You opened the door, brother. All right, whoever made a motion, whatever.
Lionel, and then I second.
Okay, motion was made by member Lionel Cloutier and seconded, I love you guys, seconded by member Headphone. Second by who?
Me.
Seconded by member Tina Santos. Hearing that, any further discussion? Member LaRochelle,
Aye.
member Cloutier,
Aye.
member Bond,
Aye.
member Santos,
Aye.
and as it's paying me, I will abstain.
Jim says nay.
I would- Jimmy can go next time.
Nay.
I'm glad he did that drive instead of me.
Member can, so we have 4
I'm
yes,
there all
1
the time,
abstain.
so I don't mind the drive. So the next invoice is for the Gardner Animal Care Center, and this is for rabies testing back on August 16th, or around August sometime. And the total amount was $263.
What was that for?
Rabies testing.
Rabies testing.
Okay.
Question, Mr. Health Agent, what kind of animal did we have tested? Do we remember by any
Does
chance
not
that far
say.
back?
Double check here.
Raccoon,
I know it came
dog?
back negative.
Well, that's a good thing.
That's good to hear.
I was just curious if it was a raccoon, a dog bitten by an animal, a dog bit a person.
Doesn't say.
Yeah, I was just wondering what generated the need for the
That's
test.
not good for the animal.
or the person who may have got
That's
bit.
right.
I seem to remember it was a bat, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
I think you're right.
Species.
I think it was
Gotta
that.
have a-
Yeah.
check the brain.
But I
Somebody
do
find it in
remember-
the house or something?
Family friendly meeting, Mr. Morrow.
Yeah, that was in the house.
Yeah.
That's not like
I actually called a guy before I
Yeah,
come
I
home
know.
and get this thing out of my house.
It was you that tested that.
No, I've had many in my home where I've had to call my husband at work, say,
I make
get
a
home
motion to
and take care of it.
Raccoon?
No, bats.
Oh,
Oh. Ooh.
I make a motion to
That's
approve
spiders, no
paying
thanks.
Gardner Animal Center.
Second?
Motion has been made to pay the Gardner Animal Center and seconded by Member Santos, what was it, $263?
Yes.
For the amount of $263 for rabies testing. Hearing that, any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none. Member Santos.
Aye.
Member Bond.
Aye.
Member La Rochelle.
aye.
And Member Cloutier.
Aye.
Motion, chair votes aye. Motion passes 5-0.
And that's all I have this evening.
Okay, and so we will have BOH recording secretary. Since we did accept the April minutes as read, we would then make a motion to pay. May I please have a motion and second to pay the Board of Health recording secretary, Deborah Dennis, for the April minutes we just accepted.
I make a motion that we pay her for the April minutes.
I'll second the motion.
A motion has been made to pay the recording secretary for the April minutes by member Lionel Cloutier for April 2022, and seconded by member Glenn La Rochelle. Hearing that, any further
I just have a quick question. Don't we need to wait for an actual invoice from her, or can we just make the
You can-
motion and
You can
wait for
vote
her
for it,
invoice?
and then we can wait for the invoice and have the chair sign it,
I see. Okay.
If that's with the will and pleasure of the board.
if that's what the board wants to do. Yeah.
Either way, I guess in the past we've had an invoice, so I wasn't sure.
Okay, so
I know
I will,
today
so I
was-
will retract,
We can
I'll
approve it.
retract my motion. How's that? And we can reword it for the will and pleasure of the board. I'll retract my motion. Let's have somebody else make a motion that the board would approve, and I'll retract mine. How's that?
I'd like, go ahead, Lon.
I make a motion that we pay the secretary her fee for the April minutes, provided that we receive a invoice and it is to be signed by the chairman of the board.
I'll
Second.
second it.
Oh, go ahead, Glenn. Sorry.
Okay, so we have a motion by member Lionel Cloutier and seconded by member Glenn La Rochelle that we receive an invoice by the recording secretary that the board has pre-approved. Once it is received by the recording secretary, that can then, with the approval of the board, now given to then be signed by the chair. Hearing that, any further discussion? Hearing none. Member La Rochelle.
Aye.
Member Cloutier.
Aye.
Member Santos.
Aye.
Member Bond.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. So that is 5-0 yes. And before that, we just have a couple of update notes for the town. And we'll let our good Board of Health members and their good steed also spread the word. We have recently, through our wonderful health agent, received a lot of 21 and a half cases of what we received for the order. These were ordered with the approval in their town property of town manager in the town of Winchendon, Justin Salzback. 21 and a half cases of COVID test kits that were technically expired with an expiration date of July 28th, 2022. They received, as we read about, an FDA extension, so they are good until January 28th, 2023, with the federal FDA testing. The town manager came to me, he appointed me to disperse them for the town, because the health agent who would normally do it is trying to stay up on his stuff, and we need to keep the health agent out in the field, let's be honest. He's only got limited hours at 37 hours a week right now. So to update the board, under the direction of the town manager, we know that DESE, and we gotta keep our kids in school, we know that DESE shut off all the testing in the schools, and the school nurses right now, they're nervous. We were able to go to our schools and bring all 3 school nurses a full case of 90 COVID tests each Friday. So the schools, if they have a child who's asymptomatic, we want to keep the kids in school. We don't want to go back to online learning. We want to keep the kids in a classroom where they belong. They belong in the classroom. I want to make that clear. We want to keep the kids in the classroom as much as possible. So with these tests we got through the acceptance of the town manager and given the health agent to go ahead to order them, we went right to the schools Friday. We brought all 3 school nurses, Rebecca at the high school, the Toy Town nurse, the middle school, Memorial School nurse, brought them each a case of 90 to start as a beta test run. And it was like Christmas came early for our school nurses. They were thrilled. I want the board to know the nurses were thrilled. They couldn't thank the Board of Health and the town manager enough. And they're gonna let us know going into the fall school year how fast they go, and then they're gonna ask for another one. So the health agent, to his credit, is looking into, he has a short window, he's looking into ordering more of these expired cases from the town, from the state. And we'll get the approval, hopefully from the town manager. I talked to the town manager briefly on the phone earlier, before his selectman meeting. And with the approval of the town manager, it looks like we're gonna be able to request more, subject to town manager's approval as they are town property. And we should be able to get more for the school system as they're gonna go through them this winter with the numbers obviously going up. They can send them home with the parents, and if the parents can verify it's the flu and not COVID, it shortens the window of getting the kids right back into the classroom. This is a bonus for the town of Winchendon. The state's giving them away because they have expiration dates, but we verified at ihealthlabs.com that they have the federal FDA extension, which is at their website. So we can keep the kids in school.
That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't it? So we went to Miranda Jennings at the CAC. We brought her a couple cases to start getting out to the people in these income-challenged communities. And we found out that the food pantry was down to just 3 tests, and they served like 350 people. So we brought a case to Sheila at the food pantry, and we already put one aside for police and fire too.
So can I ask,
Yes.
if the remaining, are
Yep.
we going to be handing out tests at the fall festival?
Oh,
and
you
having
got
a
it. That's
table?
what I wanted to talk to you about. We're gonna be looking,
Especially if we get
like last
more.
year. Exactly, Tina, and that's what I wanna talk to the board about. Would we like to schedule, we've got time, but we're gonna be looking to do a table at the fall festival. Like maybe, Tina, we could talk about doing one on each end of Central Street like we did last year, where you and I helped out and others helped out.
Yeah, last year we handed out masks and we had hand sanitizers.
Yes,
But this year,
Yes.
perhaps we could just have the test as well as hand sanitizer.
yeah. You know, I mean, the numbers, we know that going into the fall, once people start having more indoor activities and it's more closer contact, the good thing is, with this variant, the BA.5 Omicron variant, it's mostly flu-like symptoms. That's the good thing in our corner. It's not Delta, which was much more deadly. This is more flu-like symptoms. And the good thing is, with the younger you get, the faster you recover from this. It's more 40 and over that has reoccurring reinfections with this. And the medical tests don't lie. With people 40 and over, what they're finding is people are getting second and and third infections that they're reporting to the hospitals, where they're getting reinfected in the 40 and over age group, but they're coming up negative on the COVID test, but they're getting the same symptoms over again. It's already happened to 3 personal friends and 1 relative of mine, so I've already seen it time and time again, where they got sick again when it came up negative on the test, every time. So the good news is it's flu-like symptoms. If you're a kid, we want to get them right back in school. So by being able to, I told the town manager that this is a win-win, because we want to keep the kids in-person learning as much as possible. And,
Absolutely.
oh yeah, and as soon as this gentleman said, Keith, we got a small window, I think we can order more, I'm like, get the date.
Great, so I guess my question would be, at our next meeting, could we put it on the agenda to see, the fall festival is October 22nd.
Yep.
So if all our members here can take a look at their schedule and see if they could give a 2-hour window. I know you and I did it last year,
yeah.
and we had a couple more volunteers,
Yep.
like from residents. I know I am gonna be kind of co-chairing some other booths and such, so if we can all kind of pitch in and
Yeah, you're
do a
usually
few
involved in a
hours, that
bunch
would
of
be really
different things.
helpful.
So,
I'm running
yeah.
all over the place.
Spread
One
it
end to
thin.
the other. Back and
Spread
forth.
it thin.
Yes.
So this,
So
by
that'd
bringing
be
it up
helpful.
now, it gives everybody time to think about, you've got all this time before Fall Festival and the next meeting in October to think about, hey, maybe I'll be able to give, an hour or 2 hours and just sit at the table. And you know what? This is just, it's no pressure. You just sit there and say, you want one? And if they say, no thanks, I'm good, all right, hey, have a great time and welcome to the Fall Festival. If you want one, you want one. If you don't, you don't. It's everybody's welcome. Come on in. We're just here to give them out for free. If anybody wants them, it's as simple as that. If you don't want it, no problem. We want you to come in and have fun because it's an outdoor event. It's as simple as that.
Date for Fall Fest.
October 22nd.
Write that down, James, please. So, Jimmy, if you could possibly tomorrow, find out what that window is you have to order by, because I know you said, this was literally, you said it's a small window, just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it could be even the end of this week, so.
Yeah, we want to get that order placed so we can get a number to the town manager. And so everybody knows, to the town manager's credit, I actually was hesitant about accepting the amount. Justin Saltzback said, Keith, tell the health agent when it comes to getting anything from the state, he goes, I'll take as much free stuff of our tax money as we can get back. I was afraid of how many we were gonna get. Well, now they're going like wildfire. So we were like, I was afraid to say yes, and he was afraid to say yes, but now we're finding out how fast they're going. The school's already made it clear, we're gonna need more. This is only gonna last just so long. We don't know how long the first case is gonna last at the senior center with 350 people with Meals on Wheels and everything. And we also, I still have to get a hold of the gentleman that's in charge of public housing. We're gonna try to get them to the elderly housing. We're also looking at faith-based organizations around town as they also have outlets to seniors who are shut in, and where priests and pastors and members and whatnot go to houses and help people who are shut in with limited transportation. And I already talked to Miranda Jennings about, she knows where there's more people that need help. Like, so we brought 2 right to Miranda in the senior center. The senior center was said to tell the Board of Health, thank you for reaching out and thinking of us. So we're getting a lot of positive community feedback that the Board of Health is thinking about these people.
That's
So
great.
we're.
And I think maybe too, if you don't, sorry,
No,
if we
please.
could look into giving a good portion to the schools after the
Fall festival.
Fall Festival, as well as perhaps even having like a day like we had where so we had volunteers hand them out at the town hall
Yeah.
for a day, so.
Yeah,
That could
and-
be a possibility if we have a.
And so you also
surplus.
know as members, the town manager said he's gonna work with the health agent at getting a notice up on the town website where we're gonna set some up at the town hall counter, where anybody who wants to come in during normal business hours, whether they want, if they don't want them, it's no pressure, you don't want them, you don't have to take them. We're just gonna put them up at the town hall counter, and if somebody wants to come in and they're a resident, they just come in and take them at the Board of Health office. That's simple. So that's what we got going on. That way there's full disclosure and everybody knows. And I talked to the town manager on the phone today and I said, look, I'm gonna need, Justin, I'm gonna need more space. And I told the health agent, I said, I want these in a place where we've got access. And I told the health agent and I told the town manager today, I said, I wanna be able to come in and grab them. And I said to the town manager today, I said, I want these in the Board of Health office more than anything. I want to be able to come in. I don't want them taking up all my space. I said, I don't want them taking up all my personal space. And I said, I want to be able to have them where we got access. And the town manager goes, well, your Board of Health office is pretty tight. And Kevin that works here at maintenance at the town hall, he's already cramped on the police station side. So I talked to Jimmy, I talked to the town manager after 6 p.m. today. The town manager goes, what's your feelings? And I said, can't we tuck them inside the door at the town hall office where you walk in the door to the desk in the Board of Health office to the left of the door and deck them up? I said, I know I can fit them high and tight right there. And the town manager says, and Jim's good with it, I'm good with it. And Jimmy said he's good with it, so I'm gonna tuck them in the door, inside the door right there. And then I can grab them and bring them to the schools as needed, or to the police department, to the senior center, or whatever. So we're gonna, high and tight.
I've got one question that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
That's good. Is it true that we're gonna have another cleanup day in the town of Winchester?
Recreation Commission's
Let's
working
talk
on it.
about
The Recreation Commission is working on a possible day or two
Mhm.
more as an added on to our Earth
One in
Day.
the fall.
Somebody just talked to me and they said, is the Board of Health having anything to do with it? I said, I don't know anything about it.
No, and that's a good question. So Tiffany, who works on the Recreation Commission, approached me late last week when I stopped in one day like we all do. And Tiffany Newton, the Recreation Commission is discussing having Recreation Commission work on cleanup days, where they're gonna reach out to the Board of Health and see if we can possibly work with them and help them because of the amount of waste refuse we have continuously building up around our town. It's getting drastically worse. But what we do realize is we're not gonna need another 50-yard open-top dumpster because we don't have, after the huge cleanup, we don't have as many mattresses and tires and everything else and monitors and computers laying around PCRs. I've already driven the side roads.
There was some stuff down on Nolan Road today.
There always is, yeah, and Lincoln Ave Extension and all that. yeah.
Rugs,
Yep.
computer,
Yep.
illegal dumping
Oh,
last
yeah.
night apparently.
Yep,
Or sometime over the weekend.
yeah, we know how much the
Called in
DPW
today.
superintendent loves getting those calls because that comes right out of the municipal budget.
So are they gonna have a dumpster out of their own budget, or is
Well,
that some
that's
coming
a
out
good-
of
that's a
the
great
Earth
question,
Day budget?
Because that's yet to be determined, wonderful question, Ms. Santos, because every year after we finish up Earth Day, we roughly give back almost $2,000, give or take, back to the general fund out of the Board of Health Earth Day budget. And I did talk to the town manager before, and that money is available to come back if we need it. So we're gonna talk to the TM at some point as, will that come back out of the general fund for the Earth Day budget? Or to supplement the Recreation Commission's cleanup, is this gonna be a joint budget? Whose budget? That's yet to be determined. So valuable question.
There will be some mattresses.
Oh, of course, of
And
course.
they're gonna have to be separated, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Instead of,
I think the way, that I drove around all the back roads all over town to get an idea for the Recreation Commission. Right now, I think at most, it's not gonna fill anywhere near a 50-yarder like we go a whole year. Probably between a 20 and 30-yarder. I think we would struggle to fill a 30-yarder
some of these
right now.
illegal camps that are around.
No.
You know,
You don't have homeless people in Richmond.
they're quite
do
messy
you?
too.
Yeah, but every town.
Yeah.
Even a
Probably
rich
not
town
mattresses.
has.
Yeah,
Old tents, chairs,
Yep. It's a
Behind the
matter of,
cemetery.
it's a
Behind
matter
the
of,
cemetery,
yeah.
I've heard there's tons up there.
behind the cemetery at the end of the boat landing.
it's a matter of getting enough
Under,
people.
under the bike path bridge over there, under Black Bridge.
Yep.
A lot of,
It's a matter of getting enough people being willing to volunteer.
Winchendon Town Forest is loaded.
So what I explained to the members of Tiffany on the Recreation Commission is this. The problem we have, and Tina, I know when you're out helping to pick up, and when Glenn and Sharon help pick up, the problem we have is this. We have a unique issue with the fall cleanup that a lot of people don't realize that we don't have with the May cleanup, and I talked to the health agent about this. You have all the tall vegetation in the fall before frost that you never had in May. Ticks, Lyme disease. We need to find somebody who can donate cans of spray with DEET. You have ticks and Lyme disease,
Is the best for ticks.
but I'm just saying, anything, yes.
Treat your clothes.
But the amount of ticks in that tall, you can walk in any grass off, even right out here off Front Street,
Right.
cross that guardrail, and you're gonna come out with ticks.
I did see the, either DPW or some, town vehicle coming out and doing like the hedge,
We've been cutting a lot,
the
we've been
side-
cutting a lot of
side.
brush.
Yep.
A lot of brush cuts.
So I know, I saw it on my area.
They've been cutting back
Mill and
about
so
7
forth.
feet on a lot of roads.
Yeah,
Like,
so definitely I would say like after, maybe we could schedule something after they would.
Yeah, so there's still a lot to be
Schedule something
determined, but the good news is the conversation has begun. It's a plus, right?
River Street has been done, it's just. a
The good
lot.
news is other people besides the Board of Health are finally having the conversation. Because I've had, as a matter of fact, I'm going down, the town manager wants me to go down and meet with him. I gotta get going because after yourself and Barbara Anderson helped do a ton of cleaning up down here on Tannery Hill at Earth Day, June, July, and August, I cleaned up the hill once a month. And then guess what? In August, I cleaned up Tannery Hill on River Street 4 weeks in a row into September. In 4 weeks in a row, I filled 13, a 30-gallon bag, and a 13, 4 weeks in a row. And now I could fill two 13-gallon bags, what's already there. I've had to clean it up 4 weeks in a row with the pick sticks that we got from,
And that's state property, correct?
and they don't care.
no.
So with that, I've got to get going. So
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion made by member Ed Bond and a second by member Glenn La Rochelle. With that, is there any further discussion? Hearing number, member Cloutier,
Aye.
member Ed Bond, aye, member La Rochelle,
Aye.
member Santos.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. This meeting is adjourned at 7:15 PM.